Hello folks, Everchanger here, and welcome back to more Pokemon Blaze Black 2. Last time, we caught quite a few more Pokemon on our adventure, and it was quite significant actually, because anyone who paid attention to the end slate of last episode will know that last episode we crossed 300 Pokemon caught, which is awesome. Last episode, behind the scenes, we also crossed 50 hours of playtime, which is pretty crazy. I feel like we only hit 40 hours, like, I don't know, 3 or 4 episodes ago. It's kind of insane. Anyway, this time we are going to be catching even more Pokemon on our adventure. And the first area I want to explore is Route 7. However, right here, there is a hidden grotto whose existence I want to point out because I would like to check it periodically. Is there anything in here? There is. Damp mulch. Interesting. I'll be checking it periodically throughout recording this episode, and if I find anything of interest, I'll be sure to point it out. Anyway, here on Route 7, there are 7 Pokemon I want to catch in the normal grass, along with 1 in shaking grass, so got quite a bit of a laundry list to go through, so let's see if we can find some Pokemon. Aha, here's one of the Pokemon on my list. It's actually quite long, so I actually had to double check that this was something I actually wanted, and it is. This is Ambipom. Back when it was introduced in Pokemon Gold and Silver, this thing was pretty much a throwaway normal type, and it's really not hard to see why. Not very good stats, not very good moves. However, it did get quite a boost in Generation 4, which we are hopefully, if my luck goes well, going to be getting to later on this episode. Anyway, head into our backpack and start chucking the balls. There we go, Ambipom was caught. That took quite a bit of Pokeballs, actually. I'm really disappointed. This is one of the easiest Pokemon to catch in the game. It lives high among the treetops. It can use its tail as freely and cleverly as its hands. I'd say even more so, considering the tail is the only one that has fingers. Ah well. Alrighty, let's see if we can get another one. Wow, right off the bat, here we have Watchog. Watchog's pretty interesting for me because I actually found a shiny Watchog in Pokemon Black one time, which was kind of scary because it was in a wild double battle. Luckily, it was only with me, not with a partner NPC character, so it could have been a lot worse, let's just say that. I did end up catching it, and hopefully we'll do the same with this one. That went a lot smoother than Ambipom, that's for darn sure. Watchog was caught. Using luminescent matter, it makes its eyes and body glow and stuns attacking opponents. Very neat, very cool. Not something you actually see in the game. I think the anime is the only media that actually shows that off in detail. Really cool stuff. Bingo, here's another one. Fanpea. Fanpea's a pretty cool Pokemon. It's one of the few Pokemon in Gold and Silver where you can get it super early on, and it's a unique type. This thing is ground type, but you can get it crazy early on in the Johto-based games, like before you even reach the second town. Really crazy stuff. I really like it for that reason. Anyway, let's try and catch it. And caught. First throw again. Very nice. It is strong despite its compact size. It can easily pick up and carry an adult human on its back. Very cool. Alrighty, I believe that cuts our list of Pokemon to get here down by nearly half already in this normal grass. Let's keep going. Aha, here's another one. Zangoose. I believe very recently I already gave my thoughts on this Pokemon concept in general, so I feel like it would be a little bit redundant for me to go over it again, so we're just going to try and catch it. Don't worry guys, I didn't completely forget to paralyze it. It's Seviper's arch rival. To threaten those it encounters, it fans out the claws on its front paws. Those claws do look very menacing. For whatever reason, in earlier games, they were colored purple. Not really sure why that is, or why they changed it. Ooh, I'm really glad this thing showed up. This is Spinda. Of all the things to be absurdly rare, for whatever reason on this route, this is it. This thing has a 2% encounter rate. No idea why Spinda, of all things, is absurdly rare, because honestly, it's complete garbage. It's really not worth using at all. If someone can come up with a meaningful reason to use this thing, I'm all ears, but for right now, it's just Pokédex fodder. And first ball. No trouble whatsoever. I should mention Spinda is pretty interesting because it actually shows off the personality value, quote-unquote, feature. The personality value is a 32-bit value that can range anywhere between 0 and 2 to the 32nd minus 1. And all 4 bytes of that integer go into calculating the spots on Spinda's face. However, there are not 2 to the 32nd different combinations for Spinda, because sometimes spots can render completely off of Spinda's face, meaning that some combinations of values will render, visually speaking, the exact same pattern. No two Spinda have the same pattern of spots. Its tottering step fouls the aim of foes. Yeah, if you find 2 Spinda with the exact same spot pattern, oh boy, you are a lucky person. However, you're not getting rewarded because it's really nothing special at all. Aha, there's something, finally. It took forever for something new to show up. Not sure what was up with that. Anyway, this is Seviper, already been mentioned in this episode. This is the rival, quote-unquote, to Zangoose. Although, for some odd reason, they're both in the same egg group. Not really sure what's up with that. Anyway, let's try and catch it. There we go. One throw, not too terrible. Constant polishing makes the edge of the blade on its tail extremely sharp. It's Zangoose's arch rival. As already mentioned. Anyway, that is one more dynamic duo in the box. Let's see if we can get that one last Pokemon through these regular grass encounters. Bingo! Ferit. Last one in the regular grass. This actually isn't too terribly long after that Seviper clip, so I guess they just wanted to wait to show up in a pair. Anyway, Ferit here is basically the quote-unquote regional rodent of Johto. Nothing really to write home about in regards to its usability in Battle, but gosh dang is this thing adorable. Anyway, let's catch this one too. There we go, Ferit was caught. Pretty sure we have its pre-evolution Centret from an earlier episode, so I think this makes yet another line completed. The mother puts its offspring to sleep by curling up around them. It corners foes with speed. Speed as in going fast, I hope. Alright, anyway. That is the 7, I think it was, Pokemon to be gotten through these regular grass encounters. Now I'd like to go for the singular shaking grass encounter on this route. Hopefully it won't take too long, but I've had issues with these in the past, so we just gotta cross our fingers and hope for the best. Bingo, there it is. That took quite a while, actually. But here it is, finally, Ambipom, the evolved form of Apom. I really like this Pokemon because Apom was pretty much the definition of useless when it was introduced in Gold and Silver. But once Ambipom came around, it became actually decently usable, at least in single player, if not multiplayer. Really happy that Apom got an evolution. It definitely needed it. Way more so than Chimecho needed a pre-evolution, that's for sure. Finally, a critical capture. We haven't had one of those in a little while. Although it was probably like last episode, but considering multiple hours of recording go into each one of these, seems like it's been a while for me. Split into two, the tails are so adept at handling and doing things, Ambipom rarely uses its hands. What hands? I mean, just look at it. Oh well. Anyway, that is the only Shaking Grass Pokemon I wanted to find in this route, and the last Phenomenon Pokemon of any kind I am going to be going for in this episode, which is awesome, and of course there's another one. Is this another Ambipom? No, but it would have been hilarious if it was. I wish this game tracked the number of times you've encountered a Pokemon like in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, because I'm pretty sure I've encountered Audino like 400 or 500 times since starting the LP. And no, I am not kidding, I legitimately think that is the number. Anyway, there are two more Pokemon I want to get on this route, and they can both be found in this Doubles grass right here. Let's hope we don't find them both at the same time. We're going in. Well, don't I look stupid? This is the Doubles grass on this route. Sorry about that. Bingo! Right off the bat, there is one of the Pokemon I want to catch. This is Donphan, the evolved form of Fanpea. I feel like this Pokemon gets overlooked quite a lot because, as I mentioned, you can find Fanpea very, very early on in the Johto region, and I feel like that would give a lot of players the impression that it's not very good, but it's actually quite good. What's also quite good is we got a critical capture on it, which meant another one-shot wonder. It attacks by curling up, then rolling into its foe. It can blow apart a house in one hit. It's entries like these that make me feel like the Pokemon world would be a lot safer if it were very heavily regulated when it came to some of these Pokemon. I mean, really. Aha, there we go. Finally, took a while, but here we have the last Pokemon to be found on Route 7. This is Sawsbuck, the evolved form of Deerling. Same season-changing gimmick. So I think what we want to do is we want to paralyze Sawsbuck and then blast away that Seviper. Imagine if that thing had follow me. That would be pretty tragic. Anyway, down goes Seviper. And Magnezone gets level 50. I had a feeling we weren't going to get out of this episode without getting level 50. And now can we please paralyze this thing? Aromatherapy really isn't going to do a darn thing to this thing. I'll be honest, I don't actually remember what aromatherapy does. Watch it be like a cure for paralysis or something like that. Anyway, let's catch it. Oh my god, it is. Are you kidding? Well, I certainly got schooled on that one, didn't I? Oh well, we caught it. They migrate according to the seasons, so some people call Sawsbuck the harbingers of spring. Fancy enough, this one is actually in its spring form, considering it is spring right now. Anyway, That is the last Pokemon I wanted to catch on Route 7. As I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted, that is the last Pokemon I want to catch on Route 7, which means the only remaining area we have to explore is the Celestial Tower. So I am going to run off and do one last check on the Hidden Grotto on Route 7, and if there's nothing there, I will meet you on the 4th floor of the tower. Alrighty, here we are on the 4th floor. There are 4 Pokemon I want to get here just from wandering around, so I don't think we should waste any time. Let's get right on into it. Alright, there's something. Chimecho. Nice thing about this Pokemon is, it's not actually that rare in this area. A lot of people go all of Generation 3 without seeing one of these things just because it is so darned rare. So I'm glad it's relatively common right here, and wow, this thing is Double Edge? Impressive. Oh well, it's still a pretty terrible Pokemon in all honesty. Let's try and catch it. Nice. Chimecho was caught. I'm pretty sure we already have Chingling, which means I think this is another evolutionary line done. Its cries echo inside its hollow body to emerge as beautiful notes for startling and repelling foes. Very nice. I wonder how James's Chimecho is getting along. Food for thought. Aha, here's something else. Here we have Beignet. This is the evolved form of Shuppet, and its Pokedex entry, I'm not sure in this game, but in one game, its Pokedex entry mentions that if it ever unzips its mouth, it will perish. Which, I mean, it's already dead because it's a ghost, but anyone who's played Colosseum knows that they have murdered quite a few Beignet over the course of their adventure. Pretty gruesome when you think about it. Nice. Gotcha. Beignet was caught. Fun fact, this is my sister's favorite Pokemon. A doll that became a Pokemon over its grudge of being thrown away. It seeks the child who disowned it. There is a very, very interesting fan theory regarding this Pokemon and Phantump, which is a Pokemon that is not in this game. If anyone wants to have a wave of feels... Oh hey, box 11! If anyone wants to have a wave of feels, be sure to look that up. Next up is Marowak. Marowak is interesting because you wouldn't really think it, but this Pokemon has a huge connotation with these burial sites in Pokemon games, but you won't really get that impression unless you've played Generation 1. Anyway, catching commence. I'm almost certain that we already have Cubone, so I think this completes another evolutionary line, which is awesome. From its birth, this savage Pokemon constantly holds bones. It is skilled in using them as weapons. Kinda creepy, morbid stuff when you think about it. Not explicitly morbid like a lot of the entries, but more of a subtle morbidity. Anyhow, one more Pokemon on this floor, let's find it. Here we go, Dusclops. This Pokemon is interesting because it's kind of seen as a counterpart to Beignet. Doesn't really look it, but they're both ghost types that were, at the time of their introduction, 2-stage Pokemon that appeared around the same area of the game. Their history diverged a little bit when Dusclops got a regular evolution and Beignet got a Mega Evolution, but other than that, I think the comparison is still pretty valid. and caught. Very nice. It seeks drifting will-o'-the-wisps and sucks them into its empty body. What happens inside is a mystery. Spooky. Alrighty. That is the last Pokemon I wanted to find inside the tower. However, up top, we have a completely different encounter table, which means there are 4 more Pokemon that can only be found on the roof that I would like to find. Hopefully it goes quick. Aha, here's one. Drifblim. Remember when we caught Drifloon all the way back in episode... I want to say it was 43? Somewhere around there. Yeah, this is that Pokemon's evolution. Very, very bulky ghost flying type of all things. I probably mentioned it way back then, and I'll mention it again now. I love this idea, and I love this Pokemon. I also like catching it in one try. Let's add more data to the Pokédex. They carry people and Pokemon, but the wind can't catch them, so there can't be a fixed destination. Pretty sure there was an episode in the Diamond and Pearl series of the anime about that. Wow, we're really high up. No wonder these things float all the way up here. Anyway, 3 to go. Here's another one. This is Bronzong, the evolution of Bronzor. I don't actually remember when we caught Bronzor. I think it was way back in the Relic Castle, but I'm not positive on that one. Anyway, I'm pretty sure I gave my thoughts on this Pokemon way back then, and it was probably something along the lines of really neat idea, very bulky, really cool typing, blah blah blah, you know the drill, catch it. And another one-throw wonder, wow. We're getting quite lucky. Some of these have quite low catch rates, that's awesome. In ages past, this Pokemon was revered as a bringer of rain. It was found buried in the ground, which is actually a reference to the legend upon which this Pokemon is based, which is very interesting. Send you over to box 11. Can't believe we filled up 10 boxes so far. Alrighty, 2 more Pokemon to find up here. They're a bit rare, so hopefully this will go quick. I love this thing's cry. It's absolutely hilarious. Oh my god. This is Lampent, the evolved form of Litwick. Probably one of my favorite Pokemon introduced in Generation 5. Only thing that bothers me about it... Uh-oh. Well, I'm changing my answer. I was gonna say the fact that it evolves with a Dusk Stone, which is hard to come by, but that works too. Ugh. Alright, well, in the meantime, after that horrible display, we have Beignet, the evolved form of LGM. LGM is a pun on the anagram, or I think anagram's the word, Little Green Men. Beignet is a pun on Bug-Eyed Monster. Yep, all those alien movie trope things are present here. I find this just to be a really, really funny line in general, and the episode in which Beignet debuts is one of the funniest Pokemon episodes I think I have ever seen. Anyhow, let's nab it. I guess you could say you've been abducted, good sir. Hoo-ha! Apparently, it communicates by flashing its 3 fingers, but those patterns haven't been decoded. Very interesting stuff. Anyhow, now that we've got Beignet, we would be done, but we've still got the problem of Lampent to deal with. Oh boy. Acronym, that's the word I was looking for. Alright, let's get our revenge on this darned thing. I really don't think I want to try and paralyze this thing. I think I'm just going to go straight for the Ultra Ball and pray. Because that always works, right? Kill me now. Alright. 3rd time's the charm, right? Right? Let's just do it. There! That's how you do it. Man, oh man, that was ridiculous. The spirits it absorbs fuel its baleful fire. It hangs around hospitals waiting for people to pass on. Dear God! Like, oh my God! This game. That might just be the worst one of them all. Wowee. But that is, in fact, the last Pokemon I wanted to find here on the Celestial Tower. So I think, without further ado, we are going to fly back to Mistralton City and end off the episode. Oh, how satisfying is that? Well, I got another gooey mulch by checking the hidden grotto in between cuts. Was hoping it was a Pokemon, but oh well. And here we are, back in Mistralton City. I think we very much deserve to get into a nice warm Pokemon Center and heal right on up. Because that was kind of insane with Lampent at the end there. I guess it didn't want me to finish off these mass-catching episodes without a fight, because this was, in fact, the last mass-catching episode of this set of episodes, I guess we can say. I think 5 is a lot better than 8 from the first round, wouldn't you say? So, this past episode of Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we captured 18 Pokemon. Those being Watchog, Fanpeas, Ambipom, Ferit, Zangoose, Seviper, Spinda, Sawsbuck, Donphan, Ambipom, Marowak, Chimecho, Dusclops, Beignet, Drifblim, Bronzong, Beignet, and of course, Lampent. And next time on Pokemon Blaze Black 2, we're not going to be heading off over the mountain on the plain quite yet, because there are a couple things that I would really like to knock out just so we can have a clean slate going into the last portion of our adventure. So without further ado, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.